you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
All right, we're starting. It's November 2nd. We're doing Waiting for Diego again. And this week we are doing something amazing. 1979. The movie is The Warriors. I had actually, somehow I completely missed out on this. Everyone's like, oh, even if you haven't seen the movie The Warriors, you've certainly heard the references, the lines. I haven't heard anything about the movie. I haven't heard any of the lines and any references that I recognize at all. So I must be one of those crazy people that somehow, as much TV as I've watched, I've never...
I think you're a little too young, maybe. You kind of missed
it doesn't matter.
out.
Everyone I've talked to has seen it but me, so...
No, I
think
had
it's
never
a me
seen
thing.
it.
No, I mean, not necessarily... At least you've heard of the references. Like the... the famous quotes.
Now, one that you had to have heard. Had to have heard. Can you dig it?
Yes, I had.
Shaquille O'Neal made that famous.
Yeah, I had heard it, but I didn't know where it came from.
Well, I didn't know. Yeah, but you at least.
Can you dig it?
I have not heard it.
You've heard Shaquille O'Neal say that.
No.
Yes.
Not that I remember.
Really? Oh my God, you're oblivious.
I mean, I'm sure I've heard him say it, but I didn't know that it was from a movie, so I didn't remember it.
And you've not heard Warriors come out to play.
No.
That I had never heard.
No.
The only way I had heard that because that's in a Wu-Tang song. Old Dirty Bastard says that in a freaking Wu-Tang song. Because I never knew what the reference was.
See, that's
movies
the
and TV
part
shows have
I love Wu-Tang, and I'm surprised that I haven't heard that from them.
Warriors come out to play. You'll know it. I'll pull up the song here in a second.
By the way, this may shock some people and may not shock JJ. The Warriors has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
91%.
I'm kind of surprised it's not higher.
What is that, like 12? What are they, like 12 reviews?
That is a good question. Let me see how many reviews.
No, it's a lot.
It's a cult movie. There's probably a lot of reviews on there. I mean, this was a point in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s when there was a lot of quote-unquote cult movies like Escape from New York, the original Assault on Precinct 13, I think people have a nostalgic look at this kind of stuff.
Well, how many ratings do you guys think? Give a guess.
560.
74,858.
Just a little bit outside.
And so the critics actually gave it 91%, and there's 34 critics, and then the audience is the one with the 75,000, and that's 89%. So it's very similar.
That's Rotten Tomatoes.
That's Rotten Tomatoes.
It was reviewed very well when it came out. If you read all the stuff about it, whether it's Wikipedia or IMDb or whatever, it's had very good reviews. It did really well its opening weekend, and then there was some affiliated gang violence at all the showings, and it scattered the people from actually making a bigger hit in the theaters than what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, isn't that unbelievable? Like everyone was all afraid that it was going to be, causing all these issues.
Well, they did have.
So they pulled out. Like, I mean, all the gangs were apparently going to the movies and watching it and everything, and they were like, "Oh, we got to pull this out of the theaters. It's going to cause problems." Blah blah blah. That's awesome.
I'm sitting there watching this movie thinking, gangs today must be laughing their asses off at these gangs. I'm like, well, how hard was it to get a gun in 1979?
In New York? Well, that's the big difference,
it wasn't
right?
79. It was in the future, sometime unknown.
Okay. So future unknown. Well, the future unknown was obviously not now because
there's
it was hard to get a gun.
There's one gun in the entire movie other than the police officers.
Wait a second.
Yeah, didn't the girls have it?
No, the girls had a gun.
Oh, that's
girls had a gun.
The
Wait,
Lizzies.
Did I miss that? This is supposed to be in the future?
Yes.
I thought it was in the 70s the whole time I'm watching it.
It was, but they said it was taking place in the future. It could have been 1981.
At what point did they say it was taking place?
It was not specified when.
Yeah.
But it was in that's good though. It's unlike Back to the Future where they put out dates where we had our Back to the Future day a few weeks ago.
This could still happen, guys.
Yeah.
This could be coming.
I mean, I'm thinking this was like in the
future.
future, like 2 years. Like I don't think it was too far in the future. But.
Again, you haven't explained how we know it's in the future.
Because at the very beginning of the film, it has that in there.
Oh, okay. I missed
say
it. I had to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps to read.
It was kind of like
Reading's
when
fundamental.
me and Diego and our friend Dave, we went to the Smithsonian Museum, and our only rule was no reading. So we were like trying to like go through the whole thing as fast as we could.
That's because we were in a rush. Yeah, there was no reading allowed.
If anyone ever stood by more than like 5 seconds, we're like, no reading, no reading.
Oh, that's fabulous. You know, it'd be even better if you did stand there for a long time and like try to act like you know something about the thing and know nothing about it whatsoever.
Provide unsolicited like guiding the foreign visitors or whatever. Just make shit up.
Yeah, I think our only stop to read anything was when we were walking by the planets and someone made a comment about Uranus.
First of all, I totally forgot why we were in such a rush.
Because that's the way we were. We were stupid.
Yes.
Thank God you guys live in the greater DC area. You can get back, because if that was your only time going there, what a waste.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back to this.
So usually at the beginning, I want to get to what we're drinking because I'm sure everyone's drinking completely different things than what we normally drink. But right before we get to that, we're going to go through the plot. And I'm going to do this in under 2 minutes. Actually, I heard a cool idea of how we're going to do this. I'm going to do this in under 2 minutes, but we're going to split it up between all four of us. So I'm gonna start it out, and whoever else can go next. So, a bunch of gangs are in New York, and the movie was made in '79, but it was in the not too distant future. So all these gangs were getting together, and they were going to have a meeting without guns or weapons, and they were going to call a truce and try to find a way to unite and control New York because they would have more people than
Cops.
the police if they united. And then all of a sudden, bitches with nipples sticking through pink shirts were causing problems. So then, Diego, next.
Well, then one of the bitches, I guess, decides to shoot the guy who called the meeting of all the gangs, and then Cyrus, right, and tried to pin it on the Warriors by yelling out in the crowd, that I know who did it. It was the Warriors. And then the entire group of different gangs in New York City then went on the hunt for the Warriors to get retribution for killing the gang leader.
How did they not see that guy shoot? There's 8 billion people there in one guy.
We're giving our description of everything. So Jason, your turn. Next.
All right, so the Warriors were falsely accused of shooting Cyrus. Cyrus's gang, it put out a hit on the Warriors through the local DJ, speaking in 70s code.
Where in the world is
the Warriors?
Carmen Sandiego.
Anyway, so the Warriors have to get back from, I believe they were in Central Park, all the way back to their home base in Coney Island. And to do that, they had to go through boroughs and different gangs.
That was Van Cortlandt Park in the Bronx.
Van Cortlandt Park in the Bronx. Very good.
And then they go on this whirlwind tour where they run up against some of the weirdest gangs you've ever conceived in your mind. And
each gang's different than the next.
Yeah, and I guess they get a little tougher, as you get through it. It's kind of like a video game almost.
It's like a video game.
And you're going to lose. You're going to lose, members of your group. Just like it's kind of like the Predator, formula. You can't. Not everybody's going to make it out of this thing alive.
And that was a good video game, by the way.
Yeah. So and then you get to the end and you get the climax that I guess everyone was waiting for, where you get to closure, and I guess kind of.
That's what she said.
There was no real point to the whole
Warriors
thing,
make it back to their turf. They're vindicated because they find out who actually killed
right after
Cyrus.
The Black Panthers were going to take them out.
Well, they weren't just Black Panthers. They were a mixed race gang. There was white guys and Asian guys.
Karate.
Yeah. This was the precursor. This was the prequel to the Last Dragon. They were the kung fu like homeboys.
Right. So they end up. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's the end.
That's
great.
the end.
I have a feeling when you say that's great, you're not being sincere.
But wait, you forgot though. The guy, the protagonist for the Warriors was shot, but then after he was shot, he threw a knife and killed the bad guy. I'm sorry, hit him.
He wasn't. Yeah, he got grazed, and
but that was
close.
But that was after
hit a guy in the hand with his knife.
with the switchblade.
After the gunshot, after the gunshot went off.
Right.
That was Swan who did that, I believe.
Yeah, it was really awesome timing. He used like faster than the bullet.
Yep. Well, you know what? If you're a gang guy,
Actually,
I was waiting for like a scene from like the Last Dragon where he catches the bullet in his teeth. I was waiting for that because I was like,
Swan was the master of arms, the war chief of the
war chief
of the Warriors. He better be badass. You got to be able to throw a switchblade.
They didn't show him catching that bullet because I mean that's the only thing in my mind holding this back from being a 10 out of 10 movie.
That was so
fake.
What
is
kind
of funny about it? I was thinking that there is a little bit of the Odyssey in that storyline after they break apart and they have to get through all the boroughs and all that, and you've got the sirens, you got the girls group that almost takes the group, almost gets them, and there was definitely there was a little bit of a Greek mythology kind of a vibe going on with that.
Well,
they took it from as a comic book.
Well, you could see that, like totally, like.
Yeah, but they took the name and everything. Like, there was like Cyrus from whatever 400.
No,
there was from a real battle. They took a lot of the names and a lot of they were trapped behind enemy lines and they go in there like they were. It's a lot of real mythology they sort of borrowed off of.
So did the Warriors leader die like Cleon at the beginning? So when Luther,
I don't know if he died, but he definitely got the beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, you never hear about Cleon ever again, though, after that.
There was a lot of that, just like random things that would happen, and you're like, okay, guy gets thrown in front of a train, and
that guy definitely died.
He got
that guy got it.
He got the Kevin Spacey treatment from
the
House
cop
of Cards.
Kicked the guy in front of a freaking subway train. He's definitely dead.
Yeah, he got the House of Cards treatment.
But like, really, they lost 2 guys to beatings or killed, and then 1 guy got arrested by the police because he tried
for prostitution.
He tried to like manhandle that undercover cop.
That was
awesome. How stupid do you?
Yeah, but I think she was supposed to be. I think she was intending to be a prostitute.
That was entrapment, by the way, right? Yeah, you lawyers. Was that entrapment?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's that simple.
Come on.
How many times did she blow that fucking whistle? By the way, she's still fucking blowing that whistle.
Do cops have rape whistles?
Well, it's unclear.
That's the most unbelievable part of the movie.
It's unclear exactly what's going on there, but I have a feeling that she was pretending to be a prostitute and trying to get into.
She's pretending just to be a girl sitting alone at night in the park, not suspicious at all, with her shirt unbuttoned.
You think? I don't know. I'm not so sure that he didn't just try and basically sexually assault a cop who was trying to see if somebody would hire her.
What are you? What are you, a faggot? you don't like the bush?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's what.
Oh yeah, he loves that.
That's what Ajax kept calling everybody. What did he call everybody? Sissies.
Yeah.
Wimps. Like when he would fight people. He was a badass fighter too. That's a shame they lost him because he kicked the crap out of everybody.
That guy's been in a ton of stuff too.
Yeah, he's Dexter's dad.
James Remar.
Yeah, Dexter's dad.
Dexter's dad.
Or the ghost dad or whatever the hell he was.
Yeah.
No, he has been and stuff, but he was a badass. Like when the Baseball Furies came at him, like he was itching to fight. He didn't care if those guys had baseball bats. In fact, he took a baseball bat and beat the shit out of those guys with their own bats. It was awesome.
Those are the biggest pussies in the history of gangs.
They were like Kiss meets the Mets.
Okay. Here, real quick. I want like no more than 3 seconds of thinking on this. Who, out of all the gang members, of any gang, was the biggest pussy and why?
Orphans.
Well, that's easy.
Who?
Orphans.
Which one in particular?
The leader. The leader
of the Orphans.
And who does he look like?
He looks like the Toxic Crusader.
He looks like Ross from Friends.
Oh,
he looked like a mutant. Right. He looked like
it was like fucking Ross. Like I couldn't take him seriously.
He looked like Ross if Ross was exposed to toxic waste as a child.
he looks like a retarded Ross.
He looks like if you had an
syndrome.
action figure of Ross and it got melted over an open flame. That's what
And
he
the
looked like.
fucking
And they're all talking. And the girl comes out and talks shit to them from the very
Oh
beginning.
my
They're
God.
like, shut up, just shut up.
She egged it on.
look at my nipples. I'm gonna make you guys fight.
Those guys were the orphans were the big, but the orphans too, if you remember, they didn't get invited to because they only wanted like the top gangs.
Yeah,
So the orphans were a little miffed too. So you knew that they were pieces of garbage.
Yeah.
Like they were a bunch
Well,
of sissies.
That chick was this. I guess her name's Deborah von Valkenburg,
Falkenberg, yeah.
and she was on a bunch of shows, like a
One-
ton when we were growing up.
She was
One
on
in
Too Close
particular,
for Comfort.
right? Exactly. When we were kids, she was on Too Close for Comfort. I immediately
With Ted Knight,
recognized.
a.k.a. Judge Smails.
Yes, I remember Ted Knight.
Would you like a fresco?
What was the guy? What was the random guy in that
That's
show?
what we should have watched.
With Caddyshack? Oh
Who
my
was the
God.
guy? Who was the guy? Ted
I
Knight
want a
used to
hot
make
dog,
fun
no a hamburger, on a milkshake. You'll get nothing like it.
By the way, before we get too far going, we for Christmas have to review Die Hard. That's the only request that I
Okay.
have.
That's
Yeah,
one of
I'm
the greatest
down with
movies ever
Christmas
made.
Die
I'm in.
Hard will be done.
At this rate, you better hope that Diego picks it next because we might not get to it.
Hey, by the way, are we ever gonna have an audience, or are we just doing this for fun?
Yes and yes.
Yes. Let's get back to the movie, though. Hey, that first gang with Grand Mercy Riffs, those guys were, I might want to say, alternative lifestyle gang.
Alternative.
They had a big tour bus too, like the Muppets bus, and they were all hanging off of it. But I think they were
It's like
just,
something out of Mad Max or something.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I love that bus. That was awesome.
Wait,
I
Mad
love-
Max.
they were the
Mad Max
Rainbow
already happened?
Warriors. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying they were definitely alternative.
Wait, but had Mad Max already happened or no?
I think Mad Max happened just maybe after that. I don't remember what year that.
So they weren't.
Came
So
out.
they weren't copying Mad Max, but they
No.
definitely looked. They really did. All right, so
No, 1979, same year.
Okay.
okay, that makes sense. Well,
I
still
don't
would be
think they were
hard.
copying though.
It did seem like it. Anyway, let's get to the antagonist. What did you guys think? Was that a worthy antagonist for a movie about gangs? The 5'7" character.
Luther was crazy. Luther was absolutely crazy. Like,
But
did you
so-
feel the tension in the air when they were at that newsstand? That girl was working there by herself. Didn't you think something bad was going to happen?
Yeah,
Eating chocolate bars.
He was mean to women, but was he somebody that we should fear?
Like his threats about like not paying was so scary.
Yeah, it was scary.
We're
First
not
of all,
gonna pay for that.
It was like he was whining all the time.
We didn't even eat it. You wonder how he became the leader of a gang when he was kind of a wuss. But he was the type of guy too that was crazy and just had henchmen because they feared him.
I just have
Well,
a
you
hard.
know, what
I
I
have a
had-
hard
I had a-
time. I have a hard time respecting a guy who all I can think of when I see him is
Yes.
him upside down
Yes.
when Arnold Schwarzenegger's holding him
Yes.
over the cliff.
Yes,
yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. He was Sully to me the whole
Sully.
time. You know, I remember
You guys
Sully.
remember? You guys
You
remember?
said
This is my
you
rebound.
I lied.
You said you were gonna kill me last.
I lied.
I
That's a great.
was just having fun.
Out of all the Arnold
same.
Schwarzenegger movies, I know we started with one of our first ones was Predator. We should really do Commando. I mean,
Commando is my
Commando.
favorite.
Every line in that movie
Yeah.
was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was just perfect.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Yeah, it's just like
Well, whose
Great
turn
ones.
is it?
your turn. It'll be yours.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to think about this.
So you were supposed to have already thought about that and checked Netflix to make sure it was
Oh,
going to
for
be
God's
on
sake.
Netflix.
Well,
Waiting
the
for
audience-
Diego to watch the movie, waiting for Diego to pick a movie. It's holy
Yeah.
crap.
So you guys would be like
what-
Clueless too.
What about waiting for Matt to upload the movie?
That's a different
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while.
But hey, back to the original question. Sully was not a worthy antagonist, in my opinion.
Sully.
No,
Sully. I mean, that's who he really.
Oh,
was.
you're
That's
okay. I was gonna say his
yeah.
name was Luther in the movie, but Sully from Commando.
Well, you know,
he was
born,
Sully from Commando.
he
the
was
whole time.
born.
Wait a minute. Why? How's he not worth it? He set the Warriors up. Like
was
he
born
got
in
he got
Michigan.
the whole he
That's
got
all there is.
20,000 gang members chasing the Warriors. What do you mean? That's like
Jason, he was born in Michigan. That's all you need to know.
There you go.
Bruce Campbell was born in Michigan too, and he's a badass. So you take that back.
Luke.
Anyway, he was a genius. He didn't have to physically assault. He got 20,000 gang members searching for the Warriors. That's pretty evil, man. That's pretty like Lex Luthor level shit, right?
Especially
there.
for no reason at all. Just for grins.
He had nothing against the Warriors. He just wanted to be. He's crazy. Some people
Or
just want to watch
Cyrus.
the world burn.
Oh,
Or Cyrus, yeah.
We're like all out of order, by the way. I was gonna do my quick 2-minute thing, talking about
Sex?
the movie, and then we forgot about. No, it's not that long. And then all of a sudden we just completely got off track, and we forgot to say what we're drinking. I'm drinking Specs from Costco. I've never had this before. It's the first time, and
I would have never
I'm
guessed
saving
on
it for
that.
tonight. And what are you guys drinking?
Weaver.
I am drinking red wine. I'm drinking Apothic Dark. It's a red.
I
The Apothic,
picture you as a box wine type of guy.
I bought so many of those from Costco. I buy the Apothic from. I bought cases of those. I've had so many. I've drank more of that than I've drank of any other wine probably.
Now, have you had the dark? 'Cause
Yeah,
I've had Apothic Red. Yeah, I like dark better than the red. But yeah.
Literally, like every time I go to a party, people are like, "The Apothic again, asshole." Like, it's a good wine, but
That's all I think of
That's
you.
all you ever fucking bring. Madness, fucking Apothic.
It's how much I think of you.
Yeah,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with cheap wine as long as it tastes good.
it's good though. It's solid.
There's plenty of inexpensive wines that are very nice.
It's an everyday.
Is it in a brown paper bag right now?
It is
Drink it out of the bottle.
I am drinking it out of a pint glass.
It's no.
If you're doing a
it's no
podcast
Boone's
about
Farm.
gangs in New York City, you got to be drinking out of a brown paper bag.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, when we were getting ready to do this movie, I was like, what other Warrior movies could we do that would be on par with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors, or Gangs in New York, which is sort of the same thing, except for even better.
I'm not a
I've
big
never
Gangs
even
in New
seen
York
Gangs
fan.
in New York.
Yeah, you're not
Gotta
missing
be-
anything.
Seriously?
Never
I've
seen
never
it.
seen it.
Dude, that's
I've never seen it either.
it's
Any movie they put
amazing
Leonardo
movie.
DiCaprio as a badass, and I'm
You know
over
what?
it.
Look at the movies that guy's done. I used to make fun of him too, but I mean I hate Titanic, but all of he's done a fucking million amazing movies.
He is
what?
pretty damn. He is pretty damn good.
I would say he's probably in my top 5 of actors. Like the guy's just done more hit movies.
Like what?
Everything. Let me
Like
pull it
what?
up. I'll show you. I even like The Beach. I like
Name
The Beach
them off
a
the
lot.
top of your head right now if he's so good, like the movies.
I
Without looking
love
them up.
I love Gangs of New York.
Ugh.
I actually like The Beach a lot. That's sort of like an under the radar movie.
The
that's-
beach?
Yeah.
Really? Where
Yes.
it turns into a video
Yes.
game in
Yes.
the middle of
That's
it? Where
my
they're...
favorite part of the movie. I love that scene.
Blood
Oh my
Diamond.
God.
Actually,
Blood
you know what?
Diamond?
You know what?
With this horrible South African accent
I
you have in the
actually
past.
I actually did
Oh,
not
come
like
on.
Blood Diamond. I did not like that.
That
I like
movie's
Blood
terrible.
Diamond.
No, I didn't like that movie. But
Terrible.
a lot of his movies I really did like. I think he's really underrated. I mean, Departed is amazing. I mean,
He's not
Departed-
underrated. He's one of the most well-known.
No,
highest
'cause
paid-
a
he's
lot of
not-
people-
Underrated is ridiculous. He's not underrated.
He
He's
is
not underrated.
A lot of people think that people only like him because his girls think he's good looking, and no one. I don't
Dude,
really
that was
think.
20 years ago.
I don't think that many people think that he's that good of an actor. I don't. I mean,
Hey, you know
how many
one
people
thing
do
I
you
know about him
in
for
acting?
sure?
You-
He's not in this movie.
Yes. So let's talk about this movie.
Wait, Wolf of Wall Street? That was amazing.
I've not seen that one. It's been on my
Really?
Netflix queue for like
Dude,
years.
Awesome movie.
It's like a 4-hour-long movie. I don't have time to watch a 4-hour
It's
movie.
good. It's good. No, I haven't seen Shutter Island. I heard that was good.
No.
I haven't seen Great Gatsby.
No.
I liked Inception. I didn't think it was amazing, but
It's okay.
I actually like The Aviator. It wasn't
yeah, Aviator was good. Departed was really good. Catch Me If You Can was really good. Gangs of New York was amazing. The Beach was good.
Inception was terrible.
I thought that was okay. I mean, nothing. I mean, it's not one of my favorites. Of course, Growing Pains.
I fell asleep twice trying to watch it.
I can't hear you.
I said
I fell asleep twice trying to watch it. I'm pouring myself some more Jameson, by the way.
Oh, wait a minute. Who else? Who? Now, we didn't finish everybody's drink. You're drinking
No.
Jameson again?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I
What
went
do
to
you
the beer
drink,
store.
DJ?
I am drinking, because I've been up for 18, 20 hours. I don't know how long it's been at this point, and you guys took freaking forever. I'm drinking Superfruit green tea with blackberry extract. Screw you guys.
Screw you guys.
What is that? I don't even know what you just said. What did you just say?
I'm drinking Superfruit green tea with blackberry extract.
Wait, is there alcohol in that?
It's the opposite of alcohol. It's like it's the only way I could stay up to do this crap with you guys. You're dicking around all night long.
Did you join a 12-step program?
No. I joined, I was ready to podcast at 10, and it's 11, and we start doing this shit, and I've been up since 3:30 in the morning, so I'm taking a stand.
Alcohol puts you to sleep.
Yes, it does.
Well, that's why it's...
And I'm single parenting right now, too. I'm afraid as tired as I am and as grumpy, I'll drink and I'll beat my children.
So who was your favorite off character in this movie? Back to the movie we're actually watching.
My favorite off character?
Yeah. Carmen Sandiego's got to be, right?
I don't even know what you're saying right now.
Carmen Sandiego.
You mean Mercedes Rule, the undercover cop?
Lynn Thigpen.
Who went on to be in
she
Oscar
died,
nominated
actually.
stuff?
Yeah.
She died like 10 years ago or something.
Lean on Me and Carmen Sandiego.
DJ's her name, I thought.
Yeah. I don't think she's,
She's the radio personality.
Yeah. She has some great lips.
She died of cerebral hemorrhage
Ugh.
in
She must have watched a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio movies.
Was she the mom in Lean on Me that didn't like the principal and went after him? Was she the PTA lady? Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
She used to call me Joe Clark, now they call me Batman.
Yeah, she was the annoying mom.
Yep.
So why are we talking about every movie except this?
Well, I can tell you why B Weave is doing that.
B-Weave is a hater tonight.
But how would you rate this compared to In the Line of Fire? Definitely better.
Oh, you're insane. You are insane.
No, I liked In the Line of Fire better than this.
Did
Yes,
you really?
Finally, somebody agrees.
Not me,
Not
man.
me.
I thought this was way better.
This movie's awesome. Like New York was so dirty and disgusting because that's exactly what it looked like. They actually filmed it at middle of the night around places in New York, and they had to hire gang
I'm gonna get a
members to
refill
protect
while
the
you
set.
guys talk about unimportant things. I'll be right
But
back.
New York was disgusting. Like, you see what New York looks like now, but it was completely disgusting in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah, I do remember hearing that they said like Times Square was like the worst place in,
It was
in
all
the
like
world. And now
nudie
it's-
bars and peep shows and like drug dealers and everything.
I did think it was funny though when they got away from the orphans because they snuck the one Molotov cocktail and they threw it not
The
at
guy was
them, but
wearing
they threw
it
it at
as
the
a
car
necklace.
next to him. Yeah.
The guy was wearing the Molotov cocktail as a necklace. That's badass. I'm sorry. That's
And then they
badass.
threw it, but he threw it. He didn't even throw it at them. He threw it at the car next to him, and they all ran away like.
That's why the
bitches.
orphans are the worst freaking gang, and that's why they didn't get invited to the thing with Cyrus because they're.
Dude, that would be like having. That'd be like having one bullet in your gun and then shooting it at the wall next to somebody. Like, okay, now let's kick their ass.
Well, the Warriors didn't want to kill anybody because they're good, kind-hearted gang members.
Right,
they just
right,
wanted to
right,
scare
right.
those guys away.
That's right. We
You
just throw knives at your gun hand and knock your like the old cowboy movies.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna shoot the gun out of your hand.
Exactly. They didn't even want to kill the guy who was going to shoot them. They're the gang with a heart of gold. Except for the rapey guy. Except for Ajax, the rapey guy. But other than that, everybody had a heart of gold, you know?
The rapey guy.
And the sweet Hell's Angels vests. With no shirts.
I want one of those vests. I want one of those
At least
Warriors
you
vests.
How about the
That would've
gang
been a
with
great
the
Halloween
roller skates,
costume.
dude? Oh,
What was their name? Do you remember?
I don't
The
even
gang-
remember. It was God.
Wait,
They
you don't
go into the
remember what?
men's room and they're hiding. Like there's somebody.
They were the Rogues. The Rogues.
God. And then they get their asses beat. Well, they all come out in unison out of the stalls to kick their ass.
I'm gonna say this is the worst movie we've reviewed.
Oh, bite your tongue.
It's the worst movie, and by far.
No,
One of the-
It's one of the worst
movies I've ever seen.
You
What
guys
is-
are on drugs.
What's one
This
of the
movie is awesome.
This movie.
Really?
The whole time I'm like, is this a joke? Is JJ fucking with us? I really thought you were fucking with me for a
I
little bit.
watched this as a kid a lot, like when they had like the really heavily edited movies on like your UHF stations.
Well,
I have very fond
let's
memories
talk
of
about,
this.
Let's talk about
Here's
our,
my
First of all,
our first time
First of all,
we saw this.
was one of the Warriors gay?
No,
I can't remember his name. He struck me. The one who was in the room with the gang that eventually started shooting. He didn't even try and hook up with any of the girls. The other two
Diego,
guys.
There's
What?
in any group. There's going to be 10% of the group. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but
I don't know
it was like they were trying to make him the gay character.
Hey, he
There's
was
no
the only
gay
reason that they survived that.
No, I know. He was obviously valuable for that reason, but if he weren't gay, they would have ended up dead.
Yeah, exactly.
so he's the hero.
Lesson
I
learned.
will say my problem with this was that I think like a couple nights before I watched this movie, I couldn't sleep, and so I was watching. You guys ever watch Underworld Inc. on Nat Geo?
No.
Holy cow, that it's kind of like Drugs Inc. Like those shows will mess you up. But they were showing how the Mexican drug cartel's money comes out of Chicago, and how they transport it back down to Mexico. So that's like the drug mecca of the Midwest. And they're interviewing like real gangbangers now, and these kids are like splitting a $400 take every night, and they've been doing it since they were 15, and they're all strapped. No dads, no families in the picture. These are real gangbangers. And then I watched this movie, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what gangs were like in the 70s? Like, wow, it blows your mind.
Listen,
Guess what? Gangs were not like this ever at any point in time.
If the Rotten Tomatoes audience score was done only by real life gang members, this would have gotten a 0.
Right, exactly right. But 74,000 people can't be wrong.
Sure they
yes,
can.
they can. Yes, they can.
They are.
No, it is amazing.
Election.
This movie did not have John Malkovich filleting a gun, so it's automatically better than In the Line of Fire. Defend that.
What did I rate?
Defend that.
Are you filleting when you just have it in your mouth and you're not actually stroking?
He was making mouth love to the gun. You know he was. Don't try to pretend he wasn't.
That scene is amazing. It's come on. That movie is a cinematic tour de force. I can't even believe that you guys have anything but love for that movie.
No, the most iconic part of that is the 5-minute free fall from the elevator.
I was trying to not use the word we've used like 50,000 times in 5
We haven't
podcasts.
used it. Brian has used it.
Well,
Hey, I haven't used it in like 3 podcasts, by the way.
Brian's part of the team. We're a team, so I'm trying.
Well, my favorite part about
Be a team player.
My favorite part about that was that he didn't know how often he was using that since I haven't been posting them. So like the first 3 podcasts, he was like, "It was iconic. It was iconic. It was iconic."
So New York City's iconic in this movie too, because just how dirty and filthy and gross it actually was.
Yeah,
Well, I never doubted that. That was the most real part of the whole movie.
yeah. It was.
Well, you guys do realize it's still dirty as shit. Yes.
Not some of it. They've cleaned up a lot of it
This is
up.
all
Well,
like,
it's cleaned up, but there's always trash on the street.
Sure, but the subways aren't all
trash bags.
graffitied up like that anymore, like they used to either. Those subway cars were like completely tagged.
Yeah, I know.
Every surface.
They've definitely cleaned it up, but that population density makes it
when
impossible.
was the first time
to be
that
clean.
everyone here has seen this movie?
Oh, I was probably 7 years old.
Wait, seen what movie?
This was the first time I'd ever seen it.
Yeah, I was gonna
Really?
say I thought we already went over this. I'd never seen it until 2 weeks ago.
And JJ, you saw this when you were 7?
Yeah, like I just remember watching it on TV when Saturday afternoons.
How did you not end up a hardcore gang member?
I'll tell you what. I watched like Motel Hell, like a horror movie, when I was probably 7 or 8 years old. I watched like all sorts of crazy. My parents didn't care. Like I came out relatively well adjusted.
I'm amazed because you love
Yeah.
this movie. I would have thought you would have tried to like do everything that they did in this movie.
So don't think of it like being 40. Think of it like being 7 or 8 years old and watching this movie with, one, it's very short, right? It's not very long, but you have these different gangs and these guys are fighting their way from one interesting looking gang to the next. Like, a little kid. Come on. It's like Matt said earlier. It's like a video game.
This movie could have been great if they wouldn't have been so cheesy. Like if they didn't have the baseball bat gang that dressed like Kiss, or that
the baseball Furies.
Face paint. Yeah, if they didn't have stupid shit like that,
Diego,
could have been a good movie.
is what makes it a good movie.
That was my favorite gang when I was growing up. I'm not gonna like the dudes on roller skates. I want the dudes with the face paint and the baseball bats.
Dudes on roller skates is terrible too.
Exactly.
There weren't hard asses in this movie. It was like the biggest bunch of sissy gangs, one after another, until the brothers at the end, who actually looked intimidating.
Yes, they were legion. They were many.
So I hadn't heard about this until I'm guessing, I think it was my junior year in high school. So this is my story. So it was either junior or senior year, we were given, the requirement of having to do community service from school, and we were asking around, what can we do? I have no idea what we're supposed to do, and then Jason tells his dad that we need to do community service, so he's like, I can come up with something. So he has me and either Bill or Josh or all of us go over to the school, the junior high school or elementary school.
He was principal of the elementary.
Yeah, and he was like, it was like a pool or something they needed?
Pond.
A pond or something. They're like, oh, we need a pond here. So then he goes and he asks us.
Yes.
Can you dig it?
Was that pause
Bob,
for dramatic effect? was that what that pause was for?
Yes.
I was gonna say that was a very long pause. I thought you had lost Skype connection.
Yeah, right at the end of the story too.
Yeah.
Well played.
Okay, now that you've told your riveting story,
Wait, talk about the movie, Matt. Though seriously, since you've not seen it until now.
Oh, I thought I loved the movie. I don't know what Diego and Brian are talking about. Like, I'm going to watch this over and over again. I'm just like pissed that no one told me about it earlier. To be honest, like I'm going to watch it again tonight. Actually,
that movie.
Shut your mouth.
It's
No,
90 minutes. It's 90 minutes of tight action. Like there's no fat in this movie at all.
Can you guys tell me something? If you guys like this, you must have loved Face Off. I'm convinced.
Face Off is horrible.
Okay, well, because I was going to say, only someone who loves Face Off could watch this movie.
That's not true. Face Off has crazy Nick Cage and then creepy John Travolta.
You know what's funny about Face Off? That actually got good reviews.
I know. Why do you think I brought it up? Because it gets a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes, and is one of the other scores that is mystified.
It gets a cynical 95. This movie is so bad it's good 95.
It is one of those aberrations that you can't explain, and so is this movie.
So this movie reminds me a lot of what's the one? God damn it, If only
you had Google.
Oh. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
If only we had the internet.
But then I would have to think of what it was. Malcolm McDowell.
I think you need to prepare better for these podcasts.
Clockwork Orange?
Yes. It reminds me of Clockwork Orange because of the gang members. Some of the gang members from the Clowns band.
Yeah.
I'd actually much rather watch that one, though, because at least it's Kubrick.
Yeah.
That's 2.5 hours of
I would be fine with a Kubrick
things
podcast.
all over top of the film.
Kubrick is amazing.
Yeah. All of Clockwork Orange is not good. There's a lot of terrible filler, just mind.
First half, it's like Full Metal Jacket. Kubrick is really good with first halves.
Yes, and he blows it in the second half.
Not so good with second halves.
The pacing is bad.
Yeah, it is. But if you take all his first halves, he makes some fucking awesome movies.
That's true. I'll go with that. Unlike The Warriors, which is good a whole way through from start to finish.
Yeah, I'm really
action.
surprised that Brian and Diego are so anti-Warriors.
No, I will say the ending was good because I was glad it was over.
You guys are weak, soft.
No, I actually admit that I like the plot of it. I don't like the execution whatsoever. I think it was terrible.
I get it that the whole shtick was that the whole thing of the story was pretty much pointless. Like he had no thought to what he did. He just took this guy out because he thought it would be fun, and he thought it would be fun to pin it on the Warriors. And at the end, it came back to get him, and he never thought that the consequences would come back to get him. But that made it even more irritating to me. Because
this dude was the Joker. This dude was the Joker before he was the Joker.
See, I didn't have a problem with the plot. I had a problem with, like I said, the execution of the story. It was just
would have been better for you?
Well, maybe the 70s in general bothers me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
That's a definite issue.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be part of it. And then the other part was, like I said, the gangs seemed to me to be a bunch of sissies, and they didn't seem realistic at all.
Yeah, and Ajax kept calling them sissies and wimps and kicking their asses.
I know, but it seemed like they were trying to be hard, but they were laughably wimpy. I don't know. It bothered me.
And even the DJ, it was like, all right, we're going to get we get the minor leagues, now we get the major leagues. And like, come on.
Yeah, it was just way
Don't you be talking shit about Carmen Sandiego.
I liked the beginning of the movie where they gave little snippets, little clips of the Warriors talk, and he sort of got a little feel for their personality. Just really quick at the beginning. I thought that was awesome. Like, that saved a lot of time. You didn't have to have any exposition in there. That was a smart piece of filmmaking.
I thought that was the best part of the whole movie. It really was. So that beginning part and how they set up the conclave.
Yeah.
And actually, part of the conclave was really cool, and then the rest of it was like, really?
Well, I thought the best part was about. So there was this girl who had her nipples protruding through her pink shirt the entire movie.
Yes,
and her big disguise.
I was wondering.
They were like looking for this. They're looking for a girl in a pink shirt. So I'm just going to put a jacket over, but my nipples are still going to stick out.
Do you know why she was wearing a jacket?
I don't know why.
She got hurt during filming and had to have a cast on her wrist, so they gave her a jacket so you couldn't see the cast.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
I thought you were just going to make something up.
No, it's in the trivia. If you look at the trivia on IMDb, it goes right into that.
How many cops are like running after people in this movie without shooting them?
Well, it was the 70s. Right now, then it would be like the SWAT team and snipers and machine.
Right.
Even though the Warriors weren't armed, they would get gunned down.
Well, and they were
streets like
also
dogs.
not predominantly black.
That's true too, but they still get killed.
Well, now if it was shot now, it would have been over in.
Yeah, the cops would show up in their SWAT vans and just
Game
like,
over.
yeah. There would be drones, there would be SWAT vehicles, there would be sniper rifles, machine guns.
The only thing missing would have been like a little ride around Baltimore and a little rough
Showing
ride
them
around
getting the quick stop or whatever it's called.
Baltimore, maybe break a few necks.
That's rough.
Your guys' hometowns are hardcore, man.
Yeah.
We need some Weebay and Stringer Bell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I was leaving work at a little late tonight. Usually I leave when it's still light out. Gotta say, like walking back to the parking garage at Baltimore after dark is a little bit shady.
When you're
needed
white.
The Warriors there to protect you.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm surprised the baseball Furies didn't come out. Matt, come out to play. Clink, 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 clink. With some beer bottles on your fingers.
That's because the Warriors are the best.
They're the best. They're the toughest.
Yeah,
They're for real.
Yeah, right. We've heard of the Warriors. Really? Like, what did they do? What did they do all the way out on Coney Island that everybody's heard of them?
Well, they hang out at the Coney Island, like, the fair or whatever the hell they have out there. The music.
apparently they've done a little more in the orphans.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
By the way,
Seriously,
The Rosses, Team Ross.
the Rosses.
Team Ross was not in the game. They weren't even invited.
No.
Can I
And
tell
you
you
saw
something
why.
Totally.
They were like Frankenstein. They were like, fire bad, roar, and they ran away.
We'll let you guys through. We're big vaginas. And then the girl's like, she's just like all about fuck with them. She's like,
Yeah.
really? You gonna let these fucking guys just
walk
come
all
and
over
just,
you?
like, come through your area? And she's just like, look at my nipples. Like, you're gonna let them come through here?
Yeah, she was definitely an instigator. And then they called her pretty much like a hooker and a prostitute and a whore the entire movie. And then there was a love story at the end. Even though Swan kept calling her like bad things, they got together at the end.
Yeah.
True love.
Yeah, I'm sure that lasted.
The nipples were just too much. He couldn't resist.
Was the 70s. It was all about the nipple and the chest hair.
There you go. Well, guess what? I'm going to give you a little factoid here that will back up, I guess, JJ and Matt on this. The budget for this movie was $4 million. What do you think it made?
Oh, it made like 30, 40 million.
It didn't make a lot because they
79.
they canceled it. They took it out.
22.5 million.
Yeah.
So it made almost 6 times the money.
And
This
just think
was
about how
$79.
much more it would have made had they not pulled it.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that would have been a $100 million movie if
Yeah,
it
I mean
didn't
they
get pulled,
pulled it
which
because they were
back
afraid.
then is
They were
just
afraid
insane.
of,
So cheesy 70s people like cheesy 70s movies, apparently.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you ever see like Saturday Night Fever and all that kind of crap?
But what you have to understand is that means nothing to me. I mean, people. How many Untouchables movies have they made?
One.
Those movies are awful.
They've only made one Untouchables movie.
Not the Untouchables. What's the one? Expendables.
What are you talking
Expendables.
about? Yeah. It's like
Expendables.
Untouchables was amazing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, the Expendables. They made like
made
four Expendables movie, and they're all terrible.
I haven't seen any of them. So don't ruin the plot for me.
You would like them. You would like
all
them. They're
make money.
stupid, mindless ridiculousness.
But was it better than what was that awesome Electra movie that we saw together?
Oh God!
You guys were
anything
like
better
writing
than
reviews
Electra?
for your blog. You and Gavin were like,
Yeah.
that was such an awful movie. I'm just trying to.
That was one of my.
That may have been-
that was a very good movie review for me.
That
I
may have
think
been the worst movie I've ever seen in a theater.
that was up there.
Ever.
So
was up there.
Expendables, how much money do you think it's made?
Oh, I'm sure they
the
made a
first one?
crap load of money, but that doesn't mean it's good.
They probably made $500 million worldwide.
The
Three
Kardashians
films.
makes a lot. They make a lot of money because
Oh,
of
they
their
probably-
show. And it doesn't
600
that doesn't
million.
mean anything.
3 films, 790 million.
That's because
is
most
that
of
US or
that's
worldwide?
foreign box office is
It
crazy.
just says
Is that US?
box office 790.
Yeah,
Well, you got to
it's
look at
a lot
whether
of
it's
foreign
US or
box
global
office.
because there's a lot of shitty movies that make a ton of money global.
Yep, all the Transformers movies.
Yeah, I mean those were awful, and I love
Those are all
Transformers,
awful.
but like Michael Bay is just awful. He's just
The
such a
Transformers
terrible.
movies are some of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
He's like
I would watch
take like
Electro
the most
for
iconic
Transformers.
movie ever, and then just that's the opposite. Michael Bay
Well,
is the opposite of that.
I mean, the Germans like did David Hasselhoff's music, right?
Here's what I've asked
Yes,
German
they do.
people. I've asked German people about this, and they like it in a kitschy sort of way, not like it's legitimately quality art that it's kitschy and it's ridiculous, kind of like.
Kind of like this movie.
See, this would be a good time to like bring in JB so he could give us the German perspective. Why can't we ever get JB or Nate to do this?
Because they don't know how to use technology. Nate's gone radio silent anyway. He's disappeared.
Doesn't I'm pretty sure VCRs have the ability to do this. There's a hookup on a VCR somehow. The JV can get into this.
There's still
I know
isn't Family Videos still around? Or they like you gotta drive to the hood to find them? but
We've
there's still
got
some
like
video
a
stores
family
out
video or
there.
something, but it's all DVDs. There's no VHS tapes. I think if you go to
Listen.
a flea market, you might be able to get them.
It's already hard enough. It's already hard enough to get a word in edgewise with 4 people. If we had JB, it would be a nightmare.
He would just scream heavy metal scream the whole time.
All right, so guys, we are now at 48 minutes.
I think it's time to rate and
Yeah, a lot of-
quotes and rates.
All right, I'll start with quotes. So, Ajax, I'll shove that bat up your ass and turn you into a popsicle.
I love that line. That's money. That is
All
so
right.
money. It's unbelievable.
Who's next?
So
I'm
money.
going with Can You Dig It?
Oh, come on. Everybody already heard that at the beginning.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's it's a money quote though.
Still the best one out of the movie.
Okay, but we were basically going to go with the best quote other than "Can you dig?"
Well, I didn't hear that qualifier.
And you can't use "Warriors come out to play."
Why? That's like
Because
saying
we've
like,
already discussed that. Come on. Give us another quote. If this movie's so great to deserve 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, you should be able to come up with another quote. Right?
fucking A.
Maybe I'm onto something
Maybe
there.
you're all just going faggot.
There you go.
All right. Who's next?
I don't know.
Well, we know B Weave doesn't want to give one. He wants to prove how shitty the movie was.
Let's see.
Matt, your
What do I
dramatic
want to
pauses
go with? I'm trying to think of what would
ridiculous.
be the best. What my favorite would be. It's gonna be tough because I mean, there's so many good lines in this movie.
The Warriors did it.
By the way, I told people at work that we do a 1 hour or 1 hour and 15-minute podcast on one movie. They were like, "Are you insane? Who's going to listen to an hour about one movie? What can you talk about for an hour about one movie?" So now that we're at 48, no, I'm sorry, 51 minutes almost. Let's wrap this thing up.
Well, we're always trying to do the JB with under an hour to go, but it just doesn't end up working out like that. Like it always,
Did you
it's
get a
always
quote
over that.
yet?
No, I'm trying to think like what my favorite line was. God.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, I got one. Since when are you a fucking diplomat?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is that Ajax also?
Yeah, Ajax to Swan.
Yeah, it's
When he
every
wants to
single
be the,
every good quote is Ajax, pretty much.
yeah.
Other than the big two that we already discussed.
Wait a minute. No, that's not true. Not every good was Ajax.
A ton of them are, because he's like
Yeah,
the
I mean, he had the best
irreverent.
overall, but
He's the irreverent dick of the Warriors.
that's true. He was my favorite character, even though he was a bit rapey. He was a bit rapey. That's why he got busted.
Yeah, I still can't get over the fact that the antagonist of the movie basically cries at the end when he's about to get his ass kicked.
What are you talking about?
When the gang on the beach, basically says, "All right, Warriors, you can go."
Oh, that guy, because he was a big sissy coward. Yeah.
But that's my point. He's the antagonist of the movie, and he practically cries when he knows his fate is
Well,
basically
he wasn't a big
sealed.
tough guy. That wasn't his
All right,
rules.
I'm gonna
He
go.
just
I
did
don't
it.
know if it's my favorite line, but I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna go Carmen with it. All right now, for all you boppers out there in the big city, all you street people with an ear for the action, I've been asked to relay a request from the Gramercy Riffs. It's a special for the Warriors, the real live bunch from Coney, and I do mean the Warriors. Here's a hit with them in mind.
Nice. That's talking in code.
Practicing that one for weeks.
Oh,
That was a talking in code.
That wasn't actually half bad for a white guy playing a black woman.
Nice shot, Matt. Nice job.
Very well done.
Okay.
can you dig it?
It's time for ratings. Who wants to rate first?
I'll shove
One of you
that
haters
hat
can
up
rate
your
hers.
ass and turn you into a popsicle.
Who's
All right, go ahead, Diego.
Okay. This, I should have already had this ready. I don't want to be too harsh because, I know you guys would cry if I gave this like a 0.
I'm not gonna cry. You give whatever you want. It doesn't bother me. You have bad taste. I can't. It's not gonna hurt my feelings.
Wow. Let's see.
Malkovich is still falling. What?
What? He's blowing a gun and falling at the same time.
Let's see.
I'm more
By the
upset
way,
because Diego doesn't even have his pick yet, and it's his pick, and he has no idea
hold on.
whatever he's going to pick on Netflix or not.
I thought he was
Well,
gonna
we'll
pick the Karate Kid.
we'll get to that.
Fog Machine quit putting so much pressure on
now-
Diego.
Listen, if you guys just would stop attacking my movies and focus on your own bad movies.
I'm just saying, I love Diego's picks. I think we should just make this Diego's picks because those are the best podcasts. They are. Like, let's let Diego pick bad movies and let's talk about it.
All
That'd
right,
be great.
I'm gonna give this movie. I'm trying to be fair. I don't do your weird like 12-point scales. So I'm gonna do something out of 10. I'm gonna give this for originality. I'm gonna give it a little better score than I normally would. I'm gonna give it, and I only do half points, by the way. I also don't do this 0.1, 0.2 bullshit. So I'm gonna give it 6.5. Can you dig it?
All right.
That is so original. Fuck.
You're just mad I stole it from you.
No, I'm not.
All right, B Weave, you're
I'm
the
not.
next hater. You rate this.
That's,
All right, so Yeah, I know I hate everything, and I didn't like this movie. Whatever. I didn't get it. So, and I didn't see it as a kid. Maybe that would have been better, but whatever. So I'm going to give it 20,000 hardcore members out of 60,000 soldiers.
Yes, you brought back the movie numbers for the gang numbers. They're weird math. I think they were doing like Common Core math.
Yeah, it was something. It doesn't add up. It really doesn't.
I'm going to give this 9.95. Can you count, suckers?
Oh my
Nice.
God. Now you're just making a mockery. You're just making a mockery of the rating system. 9.95.
That was my highest rating so
going to
far.
give this.
I love this movie.
Shut your ass. You did not really love this movie.
I did. I thought this was the best movie we've rated so far, and I love Predator.
Shut your mouth.
No,
You've got
I thought all you guys would like this movie.
Yeah.
I thought all you guys would literally like this movie. I'm very surprised.
I'm just really upset that I've never seen it before today.
Wow, I'm blown away that you're actually saying that with a straight face.
Yeah.
Now you know you can dig it, so that's good.
Yes.
All right, my rating, I'm going to give this, it's a classic. I watched it a lot growing up. I think a lot of movies that when you watch as a kid, you watch it now, it's not quite the same level to it. You kind of notice some of the little flaws to it, but still think very highly of this movie. I'm going to give it a .085 out of 1 Molotov cocktails.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
And do you remember
Matt?
And do you remember who he was throwing those cocktails at, Diego?
Ross.
Ross. He was throwing it at Ross.
Yes.
No, he wasn't. No, because no one could have that bad an aim. He was he had to be throwing it at the car. He had to.
It's just to be distracted.
Hey,
they don't want to. The Warriors were good. They didn't want to kill anybody.
The Warriors are good, real good.
Hey,
Okay.
you know what,
that's a quote. That's one of the quotes.
Matt, I like your idea of letting Diego pick. I think he should pick 2 movies, and then we could decide which one's shittier.
That's a
Okay,
good.
well,
Maybe we could do that.
First of all, I already have a movie in mind.
Do you want to do that? You guys want to do that? How about we
Yeah,
have
let's do
Diego's
2.
going to pick 2 movies, and then we'll pick which is the worst.
Okay. All right. So you ready?
Wait,
for
are we gonna review both movies at the same time and then argue
We'll
which is
do
the
them
worst?
quickly because we get off topic anyway. It won't matter.
We never do.
No. We can. Okay. Well, however you guys want to do it. Fuck you. All right. Let's see here.
So you're gonna pick,
Double barrel.
so you're gonna double barrel it.
All right,
Double trouble. You're gonna do
motherfuckers.
the anti-JJ. Two
All
at
right.
once.
Nice.
2 at once.
All right, all right, effeminate gang members. I'm gonna
make
go
JJ
with.
cry.
I'm gonna go with Apocalypse Now.
Yes. Part 2. Part 2.
No.
That movie is so long.
Are we doing the Redux? Are we doing the Redux?
Yes,
or the
No.
the 4-hour version.
I only watched the Redux
Yeah, I've
Or
only seen the
Kill him.
4-hour movie
Kill
too.
him.
or
because in the regular
are you
version.
gonna let me do my number 2?
No, I'm just gonna say the regular version doesn't show the nudity when the Playboy models come into the airplane. So
Colleen
if
Camp.
you're gonna watch that, you got to watch the Redux so you can see the naked girls in the helicopter.
Yeah, Colleen Camp.
Yeah.
She was in Clue.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, if we're gonna do Apocalypse Now, make sure it's the Redux.
I don't know what you're saying, but
There's
It's
2
the longer
versions
version.
of the movie.
newer-
I'm doing the 1979 version.
Yeah, obviously it's the same. It's the cut. There's 2 versions of it.
Okay,
The
how do I know
the extended edition called the
Wait, why?
Redux.
Why is it called the Redux if it's extended?
Because it's like an extra hour on an already long movie.
Right, but Redux would suggest shorter,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
wouldn't it?
Have you not seen Hot Shots Part? Do you?
How about let Diego watch whichever version he wants? I'm watching the one with
Look,
the boobies.
you watch whichever one you want.
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
know
watch-
that was a reference to Hot Shots. All right.
No. I'm saying
It was.
it's not. I'm gonna watch the one with the boobies.
Is this on Netflix?
It's an extra.
I don't
hour.
think it is. I
No,
don't think it is.
Okay, well, hold on. Then if it isn't, we'll pick another one. But
Because I was
or we'll-
actually gonna.
I'm gonna say if we're gonna do like a double feature, that's gonna be a rough week because that movie's
No,
so
no,
fucking
hold on.
long.
Oh, did
War
it?
movies.
Matt, it'll be a month. You have 2 weeks to watch each movie.
it'll be a month, and we'll still have one podcast on the website.
Well, the good thing is I won't have to I mean, I've watched that movie 100 times. I could just do that right now. I don't even need to watch that again.
No.
No, seriously, I don't need to watch that movie again. I mean, I will, but I don't need to.
Okay. So the other choice is Raging
It's not
Bull.
on.
Raging
Apocalypse.
Bull.
Let me see if that's on Netflix because Apocalypse Now is not.
Okay, well then we'll do Raging Bull.
Well, I mean, we've all seen Apocalypse.
Well, we've already
That's
two of you.
it's DVD only. DVD only on Netflix.
So we're
Both
picking
of them?
movies that are hard to come by. Awesome.
Well, I have DVD. I have Netflix DVD.
Well, yeah, but you got to wait for it. Like I've
You're
got.
you're the one person.
Yes, I am.
Single-handedly keeping
you
their
gotta
DVD.
You got to pick. You got to pick.
Okay, I'll pick another one.
That's
What about
downloadable.
Raging Bull? What about Raging Bull?
It's DVD only.
Oh, that one too?
Well, no, Apocalypse Now is not even on Netflix.
Okay, so we've got 0 out of 2.
Yeah.
Okay, how about
Last Strike?
Aliens?
That
Not
one's
available
not
for
on.
streaming.
It's not on Netflix.
We can watch Ancient Aliens Collection, Aliens
Basically.
on the Moon.
Basically, what we're proving now is that Netflix streaming is terrible.
Well, it
which
might
is
be-
why.
it might-
What
it
we're
might be
proving
on-
now is that you should have had your selections pre-done before the show started.
Okay, hold
Diego.
on.
Well, no, but it might be
Yeah.
available on Amazon.
Choose Masters of the Universe. That's
What
on
about,
Netflix.
Yes. What about Amazon Prime?
Ooh. That movie's terrible. Let's watch that one.
It's terrible. And they just put it on Netflix.
How about Rosemary? How about Rosemary's Baby?
Is that a possession movie?
Yes. Well, it's Spawn of Satan movie.
I don't.
Okay,
think
is Rosemary's Baby there?
It's on there. Yeah.
All right, we're doing Rosemary's Baby.
Are you
Ugh.
serious? How about we just do Apocalypse Now and I send you guys a link to a legitimate site?
Oh, wait, I thought this was my choice.
No, but that was your choice. You were just
Yeah, let's stick with Apocalypse Now.
yeah. Let's do
Well,
Apocalypse Now and Raging Bull. We'll find out a legal alternative.
Let's pick two. Let's pick 2 war movies and decide which one's better.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad
It's
idea.
your pick.
Huh?
It's your pick.
No, I like that idea. If we can pick 2 war movies,
So
You
you got
pick
Apocalypse
Apocalypse
Now.
Now.
You want
let's do
how about we-
Apocalypse Now and Platoon if we can find them.
Perfect. That's a
That-
great one because those are my 2 favorite war movies. So that's gonna be a good
Okay,
good
and
discussion.
we'll have a lot to talk about. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's sign off
Compare and
here.
contrast.
Yes.
JJ, get some sleep, man.
Yeah, I'm sleeping now.
All right.
All
Well,
right, guys. It's been real. It's been fun, man. It's been real fun.
See you, dude.
so should we thank the audience?
We don't have one.
Waiting for Diego signing off. One day we will actually have this uploaded, and you guys will all be amazed,
You still
Riveted.
won't be listening.
riveted, and our audience will be 3 more people than it is now.
Woohoo.
They'll all be in China or Germany. Because we said David Hasselhoff on the podcast.
Yeah, they'll be like, all of a sudden we've been getting this huge amount of downloads from Germany. I don't know what one reference to Hasselhoff, and it's been going crazy.
That actually would be fantastic. All right. Well, until next time.
Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
All right. See you guys.
All right,
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Warriors, come out to play. Warriors, come out to play.